Bolt was the runt of the litter, a scrawny greyhound nobody thought would amount to much. While his siblings were picked for elite racing kennels, Bolt ended up as the pet of 15-year-old Jamie, whose family ran a struggling dog shelter. Jamie saw something special in Bolt's eyes, a fire that burned brighter than any champion's. Against all odds, she decided to train him for the upcoming Junior Racing League, a new division aimed at getting teens involved in the sport. Their training sessions were far from glamorous. Instead of a professional track, they used the local park. Jamie's high-tech equipment consisted of a second-hand stopwatch and squeaky toys as lures. But what they lacked in resources, they made up for in heart. As the big race approached, word spread about the shelter mutt and his teenage trainer. They became the laughingstock of the racing world. The night before the event, Jamie overheard her parents talking about having to close the shelter due to financial troubles. Race day arrived and the stadium was packed. Sleek, pedigreed dogs lined up next to Bolt, who looked comically out of place. When the starting pistol fired, Bolt hesitated, nearly tripping over his own paws. Jamie's heart sank as he fell behind, but halfway through the race, something clicked in Bolt. Maybe it was the thrill of the chase, or maybe he sensed how much was riding on this. Bolt's legs became a blur as he weaved through the pack, inching ahead one dog at a time. In the final stretch, it was neck and neck between Bolt and Blitz, the reigning champion. With a final burst of speed that left the crowd gasping, Bolt thrust his nose over the finish line, winning by a whisker. The stadium erupted. Cameras flashed as Jamie hugged Bolt, tears streaming down her face. Sponsors lined up, not just for Bolt, but to support the shelter's new Greyhound rescue program. As Jamie stood in the winner's circle, Bolt's tail wagging proudly beside her, she realized sometimes the greatest champions come from the most unexpected places. Bolt's victory was just the beginning. As Jamie and her Underdog basked in the glow of their unexpected triumph, they soon realized that winning the race was only the first hurdle. The media frenzy that followed was overwhelming. Overnight, Bolt became the Cinderella story of the racing world. Talk shows wanted interviews, advertisers sought endorsements, and suddenly, Jamie found herself juggling school, training, and her newfound celebrity status. But not everyone was thrilled with the Underdog's success. Blitz's owner, powerful racing magnate named Victor Sterling, contested the results, claiming Bolt must have cheated. He demanded drug tests and investigations, throwing the racing community into turmoil. As the controversy raged, Jamie discovered a darker side to the racing world. Some trainers were using unethical methods to enhance their dog's performance. Bolt's victory had inadvertently shone a spotlight on these practices, making them powerful enemies. Determined to prove Bolt's innocence and protect other dogs, Jamie teamed up with Amy, a tech-savvy classmate, to investigate. They uncovered a conspiracy that went far beyond performance-enhancing drugs. Sterling was involved in illegal dog breeding and race-fixing schemes. Using their tech skills and Bolt's keen nose, Jamie and Amy gathered evidence. But Sterling's cronies were closing in. In a heart-pounding chase through the city, Bolt had to use all his racing skills to help them escape and get the proof to the authorities. The scandal rocked the racing world. As reforms were implemented, Jamie proposed a radical idea: transforming racing into a cruelty-free sport that prioritized dog welfare. She suggested replacing live racing with a high-tech simulation that allowed dogs to compete virtually, eliminating the risks of track injuries. Skeptics scoffed, but Jamie and Amy worked tirelessly to develop a prototype. They used motion capture technology to record Bolt's movements, creating a realistic avatar. Other team trainers inspired by Jamie's vision joined the cause. Months later, at the season's biggest race event, Jamie unveiled the Turbo Paws Ver racing experience. Crowds were amazed as dogs, fitted with safe motion tracking gear, raced on treadmills while their avatars competed on giant screens. the excitement of racing was preserved while keeping the dogs safe. The innovation revolutionized the sport. Retired racing dogs and rescued greyhounds found new purposes as VIA racers, and the shelter's adoption rates soared. Jamie's family shelter expanded into a national organization promoting ethical pet sports and animal welfare. As for Bolt, he still raced occasionally, both virtually and in carefully monitored live events. But more often, he could be found lounging on Jamie's bed, dreaming of squirrels rather than finish lines. One evening, as Jimmy scratched behind Bolt's ears, she marveled at how far they'd come. From underdogs to champions, they'd not only won a race, but had changed the game entirely. Janie realized that with compassion, innovation, and a loyal friend by your side, you could do more than just win. You could make a real difference in the world.
Thanks for joining us on this amazing adventure. We hope you had a blast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Little Listener for more fun stories and surprises. See you next time.